Hi guys, today we're gonna do a mat class, nice gentle mat class with focus on some spinal stretches, some spinal mobilization, and just in general spinal health. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start seated. You can even sit on a pillow if you want to, you can sit on a chair. I'm just gonna cross my legs here on the mat. That's totally up to you how you're gonna sit. So if you just start by interlacing your fingers behind your head and just take a breath here. So see if you can come on top of your sit bones. If you can find that gentle feeling of your hip bones pulling a little bit together, the ribs pulling a little bit down towards your hip, and then you can use your hands just to stretch your neck a little bit longer. So I'm almost pulling those teeny tiny hairs down my neck just a little bit higher up. Don't pull so hard, okay? Good. So from here, just take a breath or two. Have the feeling of it's almost you carrying your whole spine in your hands. Good. We're just going to bring the elbows forward and the chin to the chest. So just giving ourselves here a nice gentle neck stretch, nothing else. Take a long breath here. Be careful not to pull on your head. Just give yourself a little weight. And then lift your head back up again where we just started. Open your elbows a little wider. And then let your head rest into your hands. And just look up towards the ceiling. So just that. And come forward. Chin to your chest. Elbows forward. And just find that neck stretch again. And then roll one vertebrae further down. So just rounding a little bit into the upper spine. Take a breath here. And then come slowly back up to sitting. Open the elbows again. Look up towards the ceiling. And if you want to, just lift your chest a little bit up as well. Then do that. And forward again. Nice elbows forward. Chin to your chest. I'm gonna roll one vertebrae, two, maybe three further down. I'm not changing my pelvis at all. It's just the top of my spine, my thoracic spine moving. And roll slowly back up to sitting. Open the elbows again, lift your eyes, and then lift your chest a little bit higher. So I really have the feeling of carrying my head here, really carry my spine, and come forward again. One more time. Elbows forward, chin to your chest. Round down again. Good. And now come a little bit further down this time. You can even go as far as you want to. And just hang out here for a second. If you want to play around with your pelvis a little bit, you can do that. So you can try to see how does your spine feel if you roll behind your sit bones. That's a different stretch. Or if you roll a little bit in front of your sit bones and bring your elbows a little bit closer to the floor. That's up to you. Yeah, so just find a position where you have the best stretch. I'm going to stick with this behind the sit bones feeling. That's where I feel the best stretch. All the way down through my spine. Good. And then find your way back on top of your sit bones again. Roll slowly back up to sitting. Open the elbows. Lift the eyes. Lift the chest. And you can go a little bit further here if you feel like it. Good. If you want to swing just a little bit from right to left, you can do that. Good, and come back into center. Find this nice long spine again, the feeling of the hands carrying the head and the spine as well. Good, and then we're just going to rotate instead. So I'm just turning my chest bone, my eyes, my nose towards one side. You decide. And come back into center. Perfect. Other side. Turning and rotating. And back into center. Really nice. One more time. Turning and rotating. Good. Now stay here and hold it. We're going to do the same thing like we did before. Elbows forward. Chin to the chest. Just round down only as far as you feel like it. Might be one vertebrae, maybe two, maybe a little bit further. I would never be able to get all the way down to the floor. So just be aware of your body, how's it doing. And then roll slowly back up to sitting, still in this rotation. Good. Open the elbows, lift the eyes, lift the chest bone up. Only again as far as it still feels good. And come into center. All the way back to center, and then let's do the other side. So I'm turning and rotating first. Then bringing the elbows forward. Chin to my chest, and then rolling down. As far as my spine allows me to. And I'm just staying here for a second to find that nice relaxation, deep breath. And roll slowly back up to sitting. Open the elbows, lift your eyes, lift your chest, look a little forward and up. And come back, find that long spine, and come back into center. From here, just let go of your head. You can come a little bit forward onto your mat. Bend your knees and come even higher up on top of your sit bones. Just grab behind your knees and see if you can find this nice long back again. Same feeling of the crown of the head lifting up towards the ceiling, the hip bones pulling a little bit together, the shoulder blades now pulling down the back. And then take a long inhale here for nothing. And exhale to tilt and round my lower back. So I'm tilting the pelvis to round into my lower back, to round even further back. I'm going down till I have my arms straight. Tilt and round even more. Really use your arms. Keep rounding, but come slowly forward and up. And then come all the way up to sit. Find this nice long spine again. Exhaling, tilting and rounding. Slowly down. Good. Again, have that feeling of one vertebrae rolling down at the time. Good. You can engage your abdominals a little bit more and then rounding slowly forward. And all the way up to sit. Nice. 2 more times here. Tilting and rounding again. Good. Stay there. Round a little more. Good. If you want to, just let go of your legs for a second. Keep your arms here, hold yourself. Just activating the abdominals. Grab onto your legs again. Find a little bit more of this round back to come up and sit. And then straighten it out. Good. Last time here, tilting and rounding again. Good. Slowly down. Good. Long arms, tilt and round. Engage your abdominals. Stay here. Slowly let go of the legs. Keep and carry yourself here. Take a long breath. Grab onto your legs again and roll slowly all the way back up. All the way up to sit nice. Now stretch your arms forward. We're going to roll all the way down on the mat. So from here, same thing. Tilting and rounding. Relaxing the shoulders. Good. Finding those abdominals, really let them carry you. Good. Tilt and round more. Tilt and round more. Tilt and round more. Nice. And come all the way down on your back. Now bend your knees a little further in. Good. Just shake out your pelvis once. Shake out your shoulders once. Good. Perfect. And then from here, just turn your head over to the right side. And over to your left. Just take a couple of times here. Releasing the neck. Perfect. Okay, good guys. Just look back up towards the ceiling again. Lengthen the neck. And then take a long deep inhale just to tilt the pelvis and round. So same thing like we just did. Pushing the knees a little bit forward here to stretch the hip flexors long. And come back down into neutral. And then let your tailbone just drop down towards the floor into this little hybrid extension. And back to neutral. Just gonna do a couple of these, tilting and rounding. Don't think about the muscles moving or activating, think about the bones moving. And come back into neutral. Tailbone down towards the floor, good. And back into neutral. Last time, tilting and rounding, good. Push the knees a little further front. And slowly back down, all the way down into the small hyperextension, good. And come back to neutral, nice. From here, just doing a little pelvic rotation. So I'm going to push my right foot into the floor. I'm going to squeeze the right glute. Same feeling of pushing the right knee forward, forward, forward. So this will make my right hip lift. And slowly back down to change. Push the left foot into the floor. Squeeze the glute. Push the left knee forward. Lengthen that hip. And slowly back down. One more time. Push your right foot into the floor. Squeeze your glute. Push the knee forward. So the right hip is the highest but also the longest. And slowly back down. Good. Left side. Pushing the foot into the mat. Squeezing the glute. Push the knee forward and forward and forward. Nice. And back down. Let's do a very last time just because it just feels yummy to the spine. Push the foot into the floor. Squeeze the glute. Push your knee forward, forward, forward. Perfect. And back down. Last time. Push your foot into the floor. Squeeze that glute. Make the knee go forward, forward, forward. And come all the way back down. From here, going into our pelvic curl. So we're going to tilt the pelvis around. Now think about the muscles a little bit more. So we're going to take a long inhale. And on your exhale, see if you can bring your sit bones, your hip bones, your ribs together to tilt and round. So squeeze the glutes, push the feet into the floor, and really think about the spinal mobilization. So rolling one vertebrae at a time, as high up as you can still keep that abdominal connection. And then rounding from the top of your spine, from your chest, all the way slowly down into neutral. Perfect. Again, so tilting and rounding, slowly up, good. One vertebrae at a time. Find your big toes in the floor. Have that feeling again of your knees pushing a little bit forward, good. From here, stay up here. Lift your arms up and over the ceiling, all the way behind you. Stretch the fingertips away from you. Push the knees away from you. And then roll slowly all the way back down onto your mat. Keep that length. Good. And then lifting the arms up and over and all the way down into the mat. Two more. So again, tilting and rounding. Finding those lower abdominals, the glutes, the hamstrings, but really thinking about this massage of the spine. Good. Lifting the arms up and over the ceiling into this wide V position. Stretch the fingertips away from you. Push the knees away from you. And roll slowly back down into the mat. The top of the back, the mid back, the lower back, all the way down into neutral. And then lift the arms up and over and back into the floor. Nice, guys. The last time here. And tilting and rounding. Coming slowly up. Good. Exactly. Push the arms a little bit into the floor. Open your chest. Really find your big toes, your feet nicely in the mat. Good. Tilt and round a little bit more. Lift the arms up and over again. Wide arms in the back. Push your fingertips away from you. Push your knees away from you. Good. We're going to roll down this time on 4 breaths. Yeah, so you just take a long inhale here. And on your exhale, just melt your chest. Just that. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll down towards your broad strap, just that, good, stay here, breathe, take an inhale, exhale, exhale, let your mid-back come back into the floor. Stay and hold it. Take an inhale. Tilt it around even more. Let your whole lower back come all the way down to the mat. Perfect. Now from here, just lift your arms, your head, your shoulders off the floor, floating up into this chest lift. Good. And coming slowly back down again. Good. Just 2 more of these. So lifting the arms, the head, the shoulders. We're not even thinking about doing a chest lift. We're just floating up. And slowly back down again. Perfect. Last time here. Lifting slowly up. Head, chest off the floor. Just to grab onto my knees. Lift the legs off the floor and come all the way back down. Give your knees a little hug here. Swing a little bit from right to left. Give your lower back a nice stretch. Good. And from here, just place one hand on each knee and do these big circles around your hip joint. Also, not just massaging the hip joints, but really massaging the lower back as well. Good. And see if you can relax your legs, so really let your arms do the work. Good. Let's do the other way around. So letting the knees come forward and out to the side and in. Good. And don't forget to breathe here. Take a couple of long breaths. Good. And bring your knees just a little bit further in. Give them a nice hug again. If you want to swing again a little bit from right to left, do that. Perfect. And then just grab onto your right knee and stretch your left leg down onto your mat. So we're going into a little hip flexor squeeze and release, yeah? So the hip flexors are attached to your lower back. So if they're too tight, might be tightness or stiffness in the lower back as well, yeah? So push or pull the knee a little bit further in towards your chest. Maybe a little bit further in towards your chest bone. Good. And just find this gentle squeeze. So squeezing is okay, it shouldn't hurt. So just be aware of that. You find the position that is okay for you. And then from here, just making teeny tiny little circles around the hip joint. Again, using the arms to move the legs, or just want the leg, the hip flexors to relax. And then do the same circles the other way around. Good. Perfect. And just give yourself a nice little last squeeze here. And let go of the leg. Stretch the leg down on the mat. Just feel the difference in the legs. So really just by doing that, I feel my whole right side is just a little bit longer now. Let's do the other side. So bring the left knee to your chest. Good. And just find that squeeze again. It might feel different, so that's okay. Good. You can bring the knee just a little bit closer to your chest bone. Good. Take a breath here. Perfect. And then let's do these little circles again around the hip joint. Good. Just gentle steering the leg around with my arms. Good. Let's take the other way around. Same thing. Teeny tiny movements. Good. But quite effective. Yeah? Perfect. I'm pretty sure this leg feels the same like the others. I'm just going to bring the right leg into my chest again. Just take a little momentum here and swing yourself all the way up to sit. From here, just stretching the legs out. So you can open your legs mat width apart, flex the feet and come all the way on top of your sit bones. If you need to bend your knees a bit, you can do that, or you can sit on top of a pillow instead. Yeah, so just stretch your arms forward. Let your shoulders glide down your back and have that nice long spine again. Perfect. From here, we're just going to take a long inhale to let the chin drop down to your chest on your exhale. Roll all the way down towards the mat. So really rounding the spine here like we did in the beginning. Now keep the lower back round and see if you can stretch the top of your spine, your thoracic spine, a little bit longer. And then round down to roll slowly all the way up to sit. So staggering the vertebrae here on top of each other, arms forward and a long neck. Again, chin to your chest, rolling down. Rounding the spine. When you can't round anymore, then I'm just trying to lengthen that thoracic spine a little bit forward, 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 and rounding slowly all the way back up to sit. Really, really nice, guys. Last time here. A long exhale to roll down, rounding. Good, and rounding my lower back even more to stretch forward and forward and forward. Good, and then come slowly back up to sit. All the way back up, nice, and just open your arms to the side. From here, you're going to turn and rotate to one side. If you turn towards me first, that's the easiest. Perfect. From here, bring your front arm down on your front leg. Either you can grab onto your toes, your ankle, your shin, that's up to you. I'm going to grab onto my ankle joint, on the outside of my ankle joint. Good. And then from here, stretch your back arm up in the diagonal, yeah? Stick your bum out a little bit, stick your chest out a little bit. So finding this nice long back again. Good. Take a breath here. Perfect. And then slowly come all the way back up to sit. Both arms long and come into center. Other side, turning, rotating first, and then bringing the front arm on the outside of your leg. You decide where you want to hold on to, and then stretch the back arm up in the diagonal. Might feel difference here, that's okay. Good, you can stick out your bum a little bit, stick out your chest, look over to your back hand, take a nice long breath here. And let go of your leg, come up to sitting and come all the way back into center. Bend your knees and just give them a nice hug here. Good. You can find your own way down on your side to lie. I'm going to be on my right side. You decide yours. So I'm going to stretch my lower arm in front of me, in front of my shoulder, and I'm going to let my head rest on the mat. If this is not comfortable for your neck, you can always grab a pillow, yeah? So bring your top hand on top of your lower. Just stay here for a second, move a little bit around so you're sure you have a good position. And then from here, stretch your top arm forward, as far forward as possible. Lift the arm up and over the ceiling. Really let your head rest into your mat or your pillow. And then open all the way to your back wall. Stay here for a second. Take a long breath. Good. And then stretch away from you to lift up and over again. So almost like a book that are opening and closing. Good. Two more of these. So stretching that arm forward to lift up and over the ceiling. Good. Just gonna let my eyes, my chest, my shoulders follow into this nice rotation. And lift it up and over again. Slowly back where we started. Perfect. One last time. Take this nice long stretch again. Lift it up and over. Good. And we're just going to stay here in this nice rotation. Good. Take 2 long deep breaths. See if you can focus your breath a little bit more into your abdominals, into your lower back. And then stretch the arm away from you again to lift it up and over the ceiling and come all the way back where we started. Perfect. Now use that top arm to push yourself up to a seated position. You can bring your feet together, your knees out to the side. So you don't need to bring your feet close. It shouldn't be a big hip flexor stretch, more lower back stretch, yeah? So I'm just gonna round slowly forward. Just let your head hang, your shoulders do whatever they want to, your arms do whatever they want to, and just take a nice deep breath here. Good. From here, I'm just walking my hands and my upper body over to one side. Doesn't matter which side, we're gonna do both. Yeah? So just again, let your head hang. I'm mostly focusing on my opposite sit bone. Really try to sit equally heavy on both glutes. See if you can find this nice stretch on the side of your lower spine here. Deep breath. Good. Let's go to the other side. Just walking over the middle. Finding that same stretch on the other side. So really rotating but still relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Pushing that opposite hip down into the mat. And then come slowly back into center. Just roll yourself up to sit. Good. Now take one arm, stretch it out to the side, lift it up and over the ceiling, and go into a nice side stretch here. So I'm still pushing both hips equally in the mat, but I'm trying to push this top side, my top ribs up towards the ceiling. So find this nice long side stretch. Good. Come up and over. Let's take the other side. So stretch it away, lift it up and over. And this nice long side stretch here. Good. And don't forget to breathe. Perfect. Come all the way up to sit. And now let's do the other side. Good guys, so coming on to the other side, I'm now on my left side. I have my lower arm stretched in front of my shoulder and my head is just resting on the mat. If you need a pillow, then please just take one, yeah? Top hand is gonna be on the lower one. Perfect, like we did before. Just stretching that top arm forward. Finding that nice wide back. Lifting the arm up and over the ceiling. Let your eyes follow, your chest follow, your shoulders follow, and just stay in the stretch for a breath. Might feel different here. And then stretch the arm away to lift it up and over, and come slowly back to the starting point. And again, stretch it forward, make this back nice and wide, lift it up and over the ceiling, so it's the arm moving and the rest of my back is just going to follow into this nice rotation. Perfect. Stretch it away again. Lift it up and over the ceiling and come back where we started. Let's take it last time. Stretching away. Lift it up and over. Good. Exactly. And staying here for a second. Take a breath. Let's take one more deep breath into our stomachs, into the lower back. And stretch it up and over the ceiling. And come all the way back where we started. Perfect. From here, just find your own way onto your stomach instead. So just turning around. Bring your hands, or your arms, next to your shoulders, so your hands might be a little bit in front of the shoulders, that's okay. You can have your feet closed or you can bring them hip width apart, that's up to you. Just relax into the mat for a second. You can start by just bringing the hip bones a little bit together. Let your armpits pull down your side a little bit onto your back, and now just push your hands into the floor, only that. Yeah, just feel the activation of the top of your back. And then lift your nose, lift your chest. Don't use your arms to lift. If you want to use your arms, you can pull your chest bone just a little bit forward and up. Nice. And come slowly back down. So lengthen to lower. Two more. Hip bones are pulling together. Armpits down your side. So just lifting shoulders off the floor. Pushing the hands into the mat to find that activity in the top of the back. Push your chest bone forward and up. Use the arms. Good. So think about length rather than height. And lengthen to lower down. Just gonna do a last time here. Abdominals active. Armpits lifting. Pushing the chest bone forward and up. Forward and up. Perfect. Now really, really nice. And lengthen to lower back down again. Perfect. Now from here, just bring your hands a little bit further forward. And then let's do one more time. You can even bring them a bit further forward. Yeah, we can always replace them. Good. So abdominals active, armpits again. Now push your chest bone forward and up. So active in the back. And now push your hands into the floor. If you feel like it, keep going, keep going. Use your abdominals. I'm tilting and rounding my pelvis, so I'm not hanging into my lower back. Open the chest wide. Good. And then lengthen to lower back down. All the way back down. Good. Again. Abdominals active. Good. Armpits down. Push the floor away. Stretch the arms nice and long. Push your chest bone forward, forward, forward. Try not to hang in the shoulders. And bending the elbows. Lengthening all the way back down. We have one more time and then we're doing a little extra up there, a little rotation. So finding the abdominals again, armpits. Lifting up, stretching your arms. I'm not hanging into my lower back. I'm really active in those lower abdominals. Perfect. From here, bend one elbow and rotate and look over the other. Yeah, so I'm looking over the arms that are straight and then push the floor away to come back up. Bending the other elbow, I'm bending my right elbow to look over my left shoulder and push the floor away to come back up. And bending the first elbow, that will be my left, so I can look over my right shoulder nice and come all the way back up. One last time, bending the right elbow to look over the left and push it back up. Find this nice long back again and then lengthen to lower all the way back down. Now use your hands this time. Push yourself back into your rest position. You can open your knees as wide as you want to and just take this nice long stretch here. So you can stretch your arms forward, see how far you can push your pelvis back onto your heels. Relax your neck and your shoulders and breathe into your lower back. Good. Now bring your right hand all the way on the side of your mat and the left hand on top of that. Good. Push your pelvis a little bit over to your left side and try to stretch your left arm even longer. So doing a nice side stretch here. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So left arm over to the left side of the mat, right hand on top. Push your pelvis a little bit over to your right, stretch your right arm even longer and find this nice long side stretch one more time. Take this deep breath into your stomach, into your lower back. Perfect. And then come back into center. Now just round your back. Roll slowly all the way back up to sit. So really take your time to come up and sit. Good. That was it for today, guys. Really, really nice job. Really nice done. I hope your spine feels nice and relaxed, maybe a little bit longer. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're going to join a class soon again.